Okay. Well, this is Peter and David. We're on the Pair Programming Extravaganza, and we've just been hoping to debug some OmniAuth, but we didn't make any progress on that. But we're going to have a go at doing some pair programming on LocalSupport. And I will. Have you seen LocalSupport before? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the actual site yet? Have you seen? Okay, good. We'll pop back into that in a minute. Soon. We could go straight into the code. Yeah, I've added a new package with very nice shortcuts, but I've been skipping this shortcut and using the old methods. Get tangled up. Right. Well, the application here has only got 300 lines of Ruby code. A lot of the rest of the code there's a lot of JavaScript. There's a lot of gems added in, and there's an awful lot of RSpec and Cucumber in here. Hundreds more lines than we have of Ruby, and you can. So that gives you an idea of how this is put together. Okay. Well, I'm going to. Right, here, I'll show you the story. Oh, great. Yeah. So you definitely want to contribute when you get time. Okay. Well, you're contributing now already. Right. So let's see. I'm going to switch branches here because I'm working on a. Forget that. Right, this branch, I'll show you the story and then I'll show you the code for the story. The story works. If you've not been using Cucumber, you'll find it a little bit like Minitest and RSpec. The Cucumber tests go in their own folder, and it's always called on directory. It's always called features. So we're in this feature at the moment. And it's called Admin Editing Charity. And this is the story, and basically as an admin, so that I can ensure that charity information is correct, I want to be able to edit, delete and add any charity information. Now, as I'm not sure who was working on this, but as they were working on it, they found that by definition there's a bug in here that once you create that, you end up with a scenario where you have to make sure that somebody who's logged in but isn't an admin, a registered user who isn't an admin, can't go around modifying other people's charities. So we hid the links, which is this bit here. So that's the links hidden, and then we blocked the ability to use the API to delete a charity in case they get around the link not being there, or, and then we got into the non-admin not being able to create. So again, the application should stop them from doing it. It shouldn't just hide the link for creating, because they don't want the database filled with spam organizations. Oh, so this is the language that Cucumber uses. You never played with it even, because it basically, you just write in English and then you use regular expressions to match these up. So this is one half of Cucumber, and the other half is a Ruby file. So these we all did them, but I did this last scenario with Michael. So that was Michael and I wrote that, and we're trying to pair as much as possible doing this. So it's only the earlier work that was done without pairing. As much as possible right now is done with pairing. So yeah, I'm not sure that. I'm not sure it's mature enough for it to be a correct way. It was only invented, what, 10 years ago. I can't remember the name of the application that used it, but it was Ward Cunningham came up with a tool for users to put in expected outcomes using a spreadsheet, and that became the seed that became BDD. But Cucumber is a slightly different approach, because it has these English stories, or these kind of stilted English stories. Now, this directory I'm going into here, step definitions. Actually, I'll kill that. It's a subdirectory of the features directory, and what this is the actual. I shouldn't have these. These are bracket files from Emacs. They'll go away. Right. Basic steps is you can put them in. Cucumber just searches these Ruby files for these regular expressions with stanzas given, starting with the word given, then and. So we just we had some created earlier in the project, and we added a couple at the end. So between the ones that already existed in the project and the ones that Michael and I added, we ended up with these little bits of regular expression that match up with a bit of Ruby that has to be run by, or basically just has to be run by the testing framework. This is Capybara and RSpec. There's a lot of stuff mixed in, but it's rack test Capybara. The language here is nearly all RSpec and Capybara. But there's a little bit of other stuff in here. There's like Capybara WebKit going on to try and test some JavaScript. Well, I'm not quite sure how they're doing that. But it can't test all the JavaScript we want, because we want to try and test JavaScript that comes back from Google Maps in an API request, and we haven't got a test for that yet. Right, when I fill in with a field, well, that's doing form filling in stuff. So we wrote this one here. For example, this is one of the outcomes that we wanted in this scenario. So we just went ahead and wrote the Ruby. Then unwanted, which matches this bit of the regular expression, and gets passed into Cucumber does this, it just passes it into the block as a name, and then Michael and I wrote an expectation in RSpec2. Alright. And are you using RSpec1 or RSpec2? 2. And this is the new matcher, yeah. So, and this is our model code, but this is just standard active record find by name, and this last is what we passed into the block. So this would be unwanted, and of course we've only got this step once, but if I was to write more scenarios with similar steps, then you would have the regular expression would be useful then, and of course it should not exist, so the model should return nil. So that's the way the features are built up. So anyway, this feature works. What I want to do is to refactor it a bit so that it still works, but is a little bit better. And there's 2 refactorings that working on. So you and I can maybe pick which one is the most interesting. So if we go back to the code, and something else that's interesting is I've tested this only with automated testing. I've never logged in as an admin, as a non-admin, and made sure that I can't do these things in real life. So I hope I can't. But I really need to set up a development database and create some users in there. Well, here, yeah, I have a database. I'm not quite sure what's in it actually. I've only used it very briefly. It's got lots of data in it. It's got lots of organizations in it, but I don't think it has a user table. So if we yeah. We use SimpleCov. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. So this is the website. It takes. I don't think I've loaded any data into it. Doesn't look like it anyway. No, it says there's nothing in there. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to register users in it because it's got email authentication at the moment. Okay, here's what I want to refactor. Right. I don't have anything on my. I don't have any users set up there. Well, we have an admin role, but I just don't have any users set up. The Capybara can log in, but but I can. Just because this is just a new. Well, I never played with that because I wanted to go ahead and go straight into specs and code. But I'd like to do it. go back and get that looked at. Yeah, it's. Oh, I just killed my shell. Right. Yes, back to the code. It's the controller. It's the controller and the model. Yes. So back in. What framework? What frameworks did you use with Ruby before? Were you doing web development when you first started with Ruby? C#, yeah. Mhm. 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 Okay, yeah. So you did Ruby and Rails together, like, like me, but you've got about you've got a little, well, quite a few months more experience than me, right? Def create, but you've got all that experience in C# and PHP to draw on. And I think they've got a different philosophy of model view controller than well, a PHP has oh, they have is it Cake PHP that's quite popular at the moment. But I think there's slightly different philosophy from Rails, where Rails has this active record and it has this convention over configuration. Okay. This is the code that we wrote. But what we're doing is we're checking if the user's an admin, and it seemed to us that it was a good idea to, instead of checking the user as an admin, to be just checking if the user has the edit privilege, and then let the user model worry about what types of admins, what types of users there are. So we've got at the moment, unless the current user is an admin, and we've wrapped that in a try, just in case the model throws an error. So we just send flash notice and redirect straight back to the index, which is organization's path. That's another good refactoring actually. We create update. We're using exactly the same check. Actually, it's not quite the same check. We've got can edit, and what we're thinking of is maybe there's a can create. Can create, so it's not quite the same. And yeah, now you're. I'm wondering if it might just be a drier code to say edit is really create. It's create, edit, delete. Well, maybe you can delete your own organization. No, you can't delete your own organization either. So they have something in common, and maybe either the model should reflect that, or we just have a helper method here that repeats, that has this block of code that's essentially repeated 3 times. Here's what I started doing. I've got the model already doing it. If I jump into the model here, the user model I was working in. What I did, this is what they did for can edit. For can create, it's even simpler. It was just a case of returning admin, because we haven't made the model any more complicated than it needs to be. So we could carry on along these lines and say instead of say this is update, where's create gone? Instead of saying trying admin, we could just say try can. No, I don't know. What does can? Ah, right. Yes. No, is it? How's it spelled, with a K or a C? Oh, C can. No, right. Okay, we'll search it. No, it's definitely not using can. Mhm. 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 Okay, so it's nice simple. The method is called can question mark, and then you send it an action as a symbol. Mhm. So it checks the object. Oh, good. Right, it may be. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's right. That might be. We could try. I could make a branch for that and just see if it dries it out better than the direction I was going. That sounds really nice. Okay. Oh, it's. Right. There's three. We may have more because but at the moment there's just three. There's admin, there's non-admin, and then there's not logged in. Where's this load authorized resource? Oh, okay. Is it? Oh, is it method or class? Ah, yes. Load and authorize. And here we've got with two of them, and authorize. We've got two with this. Oh, right. I love Ruby docs. It's nearly as good as having. It's nearly as good as having the gem loaded into your IDE. Right, now where are we? Load and authorize. Oh, right, there's no documentation for it. But load resource. Yeah. Mhm. And mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, so it just checks the user model as you define, and then either just dries out the controller code. That sounds really interesting. Um, Sounds like it might. Yeah, I do. I've not really used it, but I've heard of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna see if this is it. It sounds really complicated, a lot more complicated than our app is. But on the other hand, it looks like just because it dries out the code, we could just make some very simple use of it. Have you any idea why he hasn't? Uh, where's the home page gone? Oh, it's because of yeah. I just wanted to see. Yeah, there we go. While that's coming up, I don't know why it's taking so long. Slow day for GitHub today. We've got. Oh, well, here's license. Most region. Oh, MIT license. Very good. Very generous of him. Right. It sounds like that we could start loading that in now. But how long did you want to spend today in this pair programming extravaganza? Is, we've been running for about. Oh, if I can. Where's my recorder gone? Oh, I bet my recorder's crashed. I can't see it. Well, no, it can't have crashed. I've got a big red screen thing round here because I'm sharing on Skype. But yes, it looks like the recorder has crashed. Um, but anyway, we've been on a call for about an hour. Mm. Mhm. Oh yeah, that sounds really good. Let's see. I'm just going to show you the other thing that we wanted to. Is just like your ideas on it. The other thing that we wanted to uh, refactor, and that's this thing, which is password organizations. Oh, more stuff to delete. And this is the RSpec that we wrote, and this is Capybara. And what we're trying to do is to write a test around what we're doing. But according to the author of Capybara, we've done it wrongly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see you later. Hello. Okay, I'm in the controller spec, which is the R spec that we've written as a team. Now, this stanza that I wrote is right down here. I got a lot of help from Michael, thankfully, for that. But here we go. We're signed in as a non-admin, and we use this stuff to we would spec various things that's going on. I'm not quite sure why we've got an expectation in the before block. I think that might be something else that we want to refactor. Since this is my branch, I can litter it with comments to do. Should we have an expectation in? I see more things when I come back to code, especially when I have to explain it to someone. It makes a big difference. Do you do pairing at work with desks? Yeah. How does it work for you? Have you always done that since you started with that? So fixing bugs and things, yes, yeah, where you get blocked, yeah, or where you want to learn something new that you don't know yet. Right, it redirects. This is it's these guys. We're doing posts, and we're doing a bunch of the post creates, and apparently we're not supposed to do these kind of posts in Capybara. So what we're thinking of doing was using rack test to do them. Have you used rack test? Have you ever used rack test? Oh. Hello, I can't hear you very well at all. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now? I think it looks like I'm having some memory issues because it looks like Chromium filled it, had a memory leak, and that would upset Skype. But I do want to start up the browser again because there's a thing that it's Capybara post request private. There's a blog post, which is this one here. We're definitely having some memory issues here. There's something going wrong that's making us run very slowly. I'm going to kill that. This is not good. Yeah. Okay. Have you ever used rack test? Rack test. No. Okay. What do you use do you ever do API testing with RSpec, like by sending posts instead of by using fill-in forms and submit? I'm just wondering. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you stub it, what, to test the view, you mean? Or to test the... Right, and what about testing the controller? Do you just do a unit test, or do you do a post? That's another idea. I could... go on. I've just given myself an idea. I've asked a question, and I think I know the answer is I think it's rather than sending a post, maybe we should just say, and going through rake routes, we should just... yeah, I hear you very well. I wonder what's... yeah, I do hear you. Oh, that's really big. Yes, I see. Okay, I don't hear you anymore. Hello, I hear you. Yes. Oh, that's very strange. So you can't hear me? Yes, I do hear you. Oh, okay. Let me see what's going on. It's Skype. I'll tell Skype to stop screen sharing and then start it again. Okay, do you hear my voice better now? Okay, I'm going to hang up and call you again. Hello, it's David again. Shall we try again? Right. Again, the thing is that, yeah, maybe I should just do call the controller with the session that belongs to, just assemble a session object and send that to the controller, rather than using a testing framework other than RSpec, or rather than using a testing framework to assemble something. Yeah, that would work. Okay. Well, anyway, let's pair on tomorrow, if we can, think of a time. Can I add you as a contact? I'm not sure if I have already. Yeah. I should be able to find you here. I find Peter, and I can do add to contact list, and you should get a contact request for local support pairing, and that should send you a request at some point. Right. And okay, we can work on that can gem. That'd be really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that in passing, yes, because that's something that... Oh no, test the API call. Yes, we were alright with testing the API call, but I didn't code that, somebody else has coded that. That works. Doesn't quite work. What we've got is... Where is it? Trying to remember where it is. I can't remember where it is. That piece of code is. To test the problem is that we want to get some JavaScript coming back and then test if it's the right JavaScript coming back from Google Maps. But I think Sam and Sam Pretty are working on that quite a bit. So we can talk about that in chat, or on the main local support chat. Has Sam added you to the local support chat, Skype chat? Oh, I'll see if you're on there. There's a Skype chat room for local support. I break up. I'll stop sharing screens again. Oh, this is nasty. I've run out of memory.